Hey guys, this is Production Music Live. My name is Francois and today we are going to make a film score or cinematic motif only using one chord and transposing it. You might be familiar with our Instagram channel where we are posting a music production tip every single day. You will have a small video explaining a technique or showing some tricks. And a couple of days ago we posted a trick for film score motifs. And I think it was somewhere at the beginning of January. Yeah, here we go. Film score with one chord. Let's check this out. So we're transposing for variation, and the piano is basically playing the chord notes after one another in a nice arpeggio kind of motif. So going back to Ableton, I've already sat down with my grand piano here and used my MIDI keyboard to play in roughly that sequence here, a transposed version of it. Let's see. Not the nicest recording, and it's also not perfectly in the right timing. So first of all, Ableton starts at 120 BPM and we want to go down to 70 now. So if your timing is wrong, what you can do is select everything and then just drag this knob over here and put it into the grid. We can actually duplicate it to play it once more. Select everything, Command D, duplicate. Let's actually put some reverb onto that piano quickly. Okay, nice. And now we can transpose it down, for example, to A. And we're basically always playing the same chord. It's just this chord structure here. For example, if I'm making a copy of this clip and we are taking a look at just the first couple of notes and I'm deleting everything else and we pick up, for example, these two and move them to the front and these two as well and then these two as well and then we like drag it a bit longer. This is our chord. And now what we want to do is just transpose the same chord structure 2 to 3 times and then we have our film score motif and we are good to go. So bringing this down to A and then maybe E and we end up at D again. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, let's do the same thing with the piano here. Okay, so there we have our sequence, and now let's play around with the sounds here and try to come up with something interesting that sounds cinematic. And actually I want to test a new plugin here. You might be familiar with some of our older videos where we're using the Arturia Mini plugin, which is an emulation of the Mini Moog. And Arturia has a lot of great emulations, but lately they've been coming out with a completely new instrument. So I'm going to put it onto a new MIDI channel here. It's called Pigments. And it already looks quite interesting, kind of unconventional with this area here. So let's figure out what this is all about. But first of all, let's drag our piano sequence here and copy it over to the Pigments MIDI track and play it. Okay, what does this sound like an octave lower? it sounds better up here. The first patch it's loading up is already sounding quite interesting. I'm going to rename this to piano. So I also want to play around with the pads. And I gotta say, I already like this patch, so let's see what else we have. Duplicate the track once again and solo this one. So. Kicking risers. So this is very interesting. This is not a conventional synth here. This is also something out of the ordinary from Arturia. This thing has a sequencer built in. So let's quickly check what's going on with this interface here. We have two engines here, which could be wavetables or analog oscillators. And then we have filters here, two filters, and then we have a lot of modulation going on as it seems here. These things are just moving around. Everything seems to be able to get modulated and something like that. So we also have an effects tab here. We actually have, what is this, 3 effects buses, A, B, C, or no, 2 buses and a send bus. And then we can place 3 effects in each bus. Okay, and then we have a sequencer here in the back. So interesting. Let's see what else we have. CinemaScope. Now, this is one of these attacky pads. So let's not play this with the piano, but with the pad MIDI. Okay, so this is useful. We can mix and match this into our first sound here. Okay, what else do we have for our piano melody? Let's duplicate this one and check out if we can find something interesting. Oh, kalimbox. I like the typical kalimba sound, so this seems to be something similar. We can always throw a reverb behind such a sound, or maybe even do it inside of the plugin. Actually try that. Go to effects, reverb. Reverb, how does that work? So we have a reverb here, dry, wet. Longer decay time. Pre-delay. It's interesting. So you select the effects here in the bus, and then you go into the effects. You can select different effect types here, and then you can select presets for these effects. I'm not sure if I've seen this before in a synth actually, because usually you have slots like these, for example, in Massive and Serum, but do you have presets for the effects inside of the synth? This is very interesting. So this is a powerful tool here. Okay, let's check out if we can find another interesting sound. Again. Maybe something a bit more percussive. What could be percussive? swung modular bongos. Let's try this. A lot of these sounds are moving quite nicely, so that's kind of cool. I really like that. There's already a lot of movement inside of the sounds. Let's take this reverb here and put it behind that one. Nice. Okay. Let's see what we got so far. Now we need something still for our bass. So let's make another copy here and make a long bass. And I'm just going to, this is our bass note D here, so rename this to bass. Okay, let's quickly figure out how we can make our own sound from scratch. So let's look for an init patch, default. Okay, default, here we go. Default. So we are just playing the wavetable of a sine wave here. This seems to be adjusting the wavetable position. Okay, filter down. And more voices. Unison, classic, 3 voices. Okay, bringing this down 2 octaves. Let's maybe mix this with another one. What could we mix it with? Maybe with a sine wave here. How do I activate this? Here, okay. Make sure you're in good speakers. This is very low down. Actually, let's go an octave up here. Oh no, let's keep it down. Can we modulate this cutoff now? Could I put an envelope on top of it? How does that work? Envelope to, so if I drag knob contours to create. Ah, okay, so some of these are now showing up here and I could do this. Okay, so if I want to open it up from 0, okay. Actually, I want to bring it in. So, oh no, I think that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. Yeah. And tag curve. Nice. Okay. Let's put it a bit louder and put everything together. Okay, maybe we could use a couple of drums or something. I think I made... That's actually really nice if you have your project files sorted You can just, select single elements out of complete tracks you made, and you don't even have to go into them. I'm just going to go into a project called Assassin's Creed main theme, and I'm just going to pick up the soundtrack score kind of drums group. So let's see what we have here. Lots of drums. Let's go to the arrangement view. This sounds like it plays at half of the speed. Okay, anyhow, let's just use it for the sake of this video here and play it at half of the speed. Now, this is in the arrangement view, but right now we're working in the session view. How do you get stuff back into the session view, into a clip? Select an area, preferably something like 8 bars, and then consolidate time to new scene. Hit this, it's consolidating, can go back, and here's your scene. Actually put an auto filter onto it. Oh, and maybe also a reverb. That could be interesting in this case. Very interesting. Now, this was fun. You're actually getting some very interesting results with that thing and just like playing around with the patches here. I mean, it obviously builds on functionalities that were introduced with Serum, for example. So we also have these wavetable things here with 3D, 2D. This is, you can mix and match with, an analog part and a wavetable part. This seems to be a beast if you want to come up with interesting textures or pads or, any type of moving sound. It seems to be quite powerful. Very nice. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial here. Feel free to check out Production Music Live, our website supporting this channel. We have courses there, sound packs, full start to finish courses for Ableton, and also sound design courses with a couple of synthesizers. Also, you can find a lot of Ableton project files over there ready for you to use, just like I did use some of the drums from this one here. Feel free to leave a comment and a like, subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you next time.